All right, as we look at these word bubbles and we talk about domain and range in real life situations, what are the blank and lowest values that make the sense in the context? So we need to think about when we talk about this, we need to talk about high and low values. What set of numbers makes sense? Are we talking about real numbers? Are we talking about integers? Are we talking about whole numbers, right? If we're talking about real numbers with fractions and decimals and all of those things, we're probably going to have inequalities. If we're talking about things that are countable and we don't have halves, then we're going to be talking about writing in a list. Should they be written as discrete or continuous data? Okay, that's what we were just talking about, right? This is a list. Continuous uses the inequality. So you have to think about, can we have half of whatever we're talking about? That's going to help you determine if it's a list or an inequality. Yes, if we have half, then we're going to use continuous. We'll use inequalities, except for maybe money, right? But if we're talking about like people, jerseys, things like that, okay, those would be a list. So let's look at Remy. Remy is shopping for pears at a farmer's market. The total price of her purchase, P of X, can be represented with the function P of X equals 2.5X. X is the number of pears. What do we know about X? X is the what? Very nice. So pears, this is our domain. And she purchased at least 2 pears, no more than 6. So, what type of numbers are we talking about for the domain? Are we talking about whole numbers? Are we talking about integers, which are positive and negative whole numbers? Are we talking about decimals? Can we have half a pear? If you go to a farmer's market, can you tell them I want to buy 3.5 pears? Are they going to cut that pear in half for you? No. So, we are talking about whole numbers here. We're talking about you can buy 1 pear, 2 pear. If you go to H-E-B, they're not going to cut a pear in half for you. So, looking at that, if we are only talking about whole numbers, are we going to use the list or are we going to use the inequality for at least 2 but no more than 6? Inequality. Can you buy a half a pear? Oh, no. No, so we're going to use a list. Right? No halves. So what is the range? Range is the y, right? So if we look at this, we have this equation right here. P of X equals 2.5X. So that is telling us that each pair is $2.50. I want you to remember that P of X right here, this is the same as y, right? So we have a domain up here. These are our x's. Can I put those numbers in for x to find my range? Yes. If I buy 2 pears, we're just taking these x numbers and we're putting them here. And I'll show you in the calculator in a minute. If I put 2 in place of x, if I buy 2 pears, how much is it? $5. If I buy 3, $7.50. 4. How much is 4? If you're not sure, use your calculator. 10. How much is 5? $12.50. How much is 6? 15. That's some expensive pears. I hope they taste good. This one says, Ben is purchasing frozen yogurt. The total cost of his yogurt, y, is represented by this equation. It's very nice. They even gave you the equation. X is the total number of ounces. So there's your domain. Y is going to be your money. Ben will purchase a minimum of 10 ounces and a maximum of 14 ounces. Okay, so what kind of numbers are these? I want you to think about if you went to Orange Leaf and you put frozen yogurt in your bowl with all of your toppings, they weigh it, yes? Yes. When you weigh your bowl, is it always just a whole number? No. No, it's usually what? a decimal. Could we get half an ounce of yogurt?
Yes.
Could we get 5 3/4 ounces of yogurt? Yes. So these are going to be real numbers. These are going to be fractions. These are decimals, all of that. We can have a half. So if we can have a half, then we're going to use an inequality. Okay? So how are we going to find our range? Okay, this is a little trickier. We know, what is the minimum amount that they bought? 10. So our minimum X is 10, and our maximum X is what? 14. So we are going to have to take this equation, and we're going to have to solve twice. Okay, we have our X. We're going to have to solve it with the 10 in it, and then we're going to have to solve it with the 14 in it. So this is a calculator event. Now, when you write it, remember, if your domain is an inequality, your range is also an inequality. When we plugged these in, we plugged in 10, what'd you get?
1.5.
Plus the 1.5 is 3. And when you put in the 14? 3. Okay, and it's money, so I'm going to put a 60 there. So remember, this is money. So what that means is, if we only bought 10 ounces, then we spent $3. If we bought the highest amount, the 14 ounces, we spent $3.60. Now, remember, we can buy anything between 10 and 14. Maybe we bought 10.875, or we bought 12.04 ounces. Okay, so this is saying that we are spending any amount of money that falls between and includes $3 to $3.60, including that. All right, let's look at number 5. Maria spent 25 minutes last night reading her book. The graph shows the remaining percent of her book as a linear function, okay? So this is just straight domain and range on this one and on number 6 with Jack. So the difference is that number 5 is linear. Number 6, this is what we call a parabola. We'll talk about that in the spring. So let's start with our domain. Set it up. Something less than X, less than something. There are dots for you. Yes? So what do we think about the domain? What is our left boundary for reading the book? 0. What's our right boundary? Line or no line? On both or one? Both. Good job. What about your range? 0, line or no line? 0 with a line, 60 with a line. Okay? Now, don't freak out on number 6 because this one actually has 3 dots. We do need all 3 dots. You just have to be careful what you're looking at. So, tell me about the domain. Remember, the domain is your X, left to right. What is it going to be? 0 to what? 8. Line or no line? Line on both because you have closed circles, right? The range is 0 to 12. So line or no line? 0 less than or equal to y, less than or equal to 12. Good. Because this 6 is the height at which Jack launched the rocket. The 12 is the height of the rocket at its highest point. So we are only looking bottom to top. That 6 is not important, but we needed that dot for our domain, right?
Wait, what is the height